Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. Hello everyone, congrats to the bulls out there. Tons of action, tons of trading opportunity, and my favorite part is they are not all correlated, so they're happening one at a time often, and you can literally see traders like us that are just jumping around from one to the other with profits, moving it on and getting the next runner and allowing us to really compound these profits significantly. So tons of people in the chat room with their best day ever. Certainly one of the top days in terms of trading opportunity with this bullish action. So again, congrats to everybody out there. In this video, I want to change my tone a little bit because often I find myself as a contrarian with my market viewpoint of things. And it's just time to be cautious. It's time to pull back on the reins a little bit and not fall into this state of euphoria. Yes, it's great that things are going up. We're, trading the best percent gains that we've ever seen, some of us, and a lot of us are learning how to do so. But it's not going to keep up like this, and we have to be cautious and not expect it to keep up. We can't get lulled into this sense of complacency in this market because we are running so substantially overbought in so many time frames that when the tide does turn, if it turns, it's going to be, significant and swift. We've seen it plenty of times. And of course, it keeps recovering, but there is going to be a time when it doesn't recover and when it goes down for months in a row. So I'm not saying that's coming. I'm not saying our top is in. What I am saying is we need to be cautious, protect our trades. Start asking yourself, what are you going to do with your positions if Litecoin drops back down to 120? What are you going to do with ETH if we break 300 support? It doesn't look likely. It doesn't look like it's, we need to think about that for weeks. But next thing you know, we might have to be thinking about that. So it's important to just always have yourself outlining these different scenarios of what could happen and not just going with the flow and saying, oh, we're going up, we're going to go up tomorrow and the next day after that too. So Bitcoin is in consolidation mode on the daily time frame, and it looks like we're forming this equilibrium pattern. So the last video I did, we were bullish Bitcoin because we had these long lower wicks heading into the futures trading, and we had 1400 as the must hold support. And of course that held, and the bulls turned things around very significantly. So what we have now, it looks like, is our lower high. So our all-time high of resistance is 19,697. And we've got the support line down here. I'm liking just the round 14,000 psychological level. If you wanted the exact number, it's all the way down at 13,500. Our lower high of resistance, 17,493. And now we're tightening up. And if we pull back, we'll look for the bulls to form a higher low somewhere in the upper $15,000 range is where I would look for the bulls to show up. So we are in consolidation mode for Bitcoin, and attention very quickly shifted to the other names once people started locking in their profit from Bitcoin. So I've traded all of the big three today, lots of back and forth. I've probably made over 8 trades today. There was at one point where I made 5 Litecoin trades within 45 minutes. But where Bitcoin is consolidating now, we had a bull flag. This is healthy consolidation of a bull flag. I traded Bitcoin on the way up and scaled out in the 17,200s to 17,400s, anticipating that wall at 17,500. If you're looking at the order book, you could very clearly see that there was a big wall of resistance sitting there. We broke the big wall at 17, but the bulls didn't have enough momentum to break the big wall at 17.5. So it was a bearish reversal candlestick on the 4-hour time frame. We're currently confirming it and the pullback, and you can see we lost the clear higher low pattern. I was looking at 16,414 as a low of support, a higher low, and we have broken that level now. And we look on the hourly time frame, and you can see if the bulls wanted to remain their strongest, they would have held this low, and that would have kept the higher low, higher high pattern going. So we're now breaking this level. It's not a significant break. We're not dumping. There's not high bear volume. There's no real all-out red flags. It's just healthy consolidation at this point. I'm looking down right now at 16,301 and then 16,000 as the next two support levels to be watching. So we're in consolidation mode for Bitcoin. The bulls are likely to show back up at some point. not too far in the future, because this daily chart does still favor the bulls in a tightening pattern. I do expect to see this pattern continue to tighten and things to settle down in Bitcoin for the next few days, but it'll be very clear on these shorter term time frames whether the bulls are showing back up now with 17,500, a new key resistance. And remember that resistance highlighted in a couple of videos ago, 17,777. So we do have a lower high compared to that level, unable to break that resistance. Ethereum and Litecoin have been stealing the show today with tons of strength. Ethereum is forming a bearish reversal candlestick. We have a long way to go, about 20 hours until this candlestick forms. So this upper wick could get erased if the bulls see follow through, which means we need to go to shorter term time frames for more details. Bull MACD cross on the daily time frame, the 4-hour chart, also a bearish reversal candlestick. So look at the volume climax, and it's a bearish reversal spinning top. I would expect to see an inside bar on the 4-hour time frame for the next candlestick. Let's get a little picture now of the daily time frame, and we see, or excuse me, it's the hourly time frame, and we have a higher low here at 501.11. Let's put our line there, and we have our resistance at the new all-time high, 547.51. So 547.51, and that's support. So we now have a higher low that the bulls are trying to hold at 511.20. We'll see if that level can hold. And at this point, looking at the 15-minute time frame, it's still healthy consolidation. Look at this base of support with our higher lows, a clear equilibrium pattern on the 15-minute time frame, higher lows, lower highs, bull volume shows up, and then we go all-time high. So there was a clear bull break of a 15-minute equilibrium pattern, a bearish reversal spinning top candlestick, and now we're pulling back but maintaining higher lows. And it's similar to Bitcoin on that hourly time frame where we didn't hold this higher low, and look how similar ETH looks here, where we are still holding that higher low. It's a completely different time frame, but just a clear similar pattern. So a long lower wick right now off of 511.20. We'll see if the bulls are going to be able to hold that level to keep in this potential uptrend on the 15-minute. You can see that these moves don't last very long in terms of the spikes. We spiked from 505 to 547, a $42 move, which is about 8%. In 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, and the top was hit, and here we go pulling back significantly. So these moves are very quick, and this volatility is why, you know, it's really awesome to be trading. People that are holding are doing well. People that are trading are doing well. It's not a competition. It's whatever suits you best, but I love trading, so that's what I'm going to do. So Ethereum, we're watching patiently. Can this 15-minute higher low hold? If it can, watch for an equilibrium pattern. Watch for a bounce to play out, and for a lower high to be set in the upper 530s, and then a higher low, and for things to tighten from there. And as I'm saying this right now, I'm going to get ready to potentially make an entry because the stop loss level is clear down here. If we break 511.20, then I would want to be out because my initial analysis would be wrong, that we are not going to see a bounce. So if we see a $10 move, that's what we're looking for, and I would look to scale out on that size of a move, looking for that 15-minute equilibrium pattern. So that's just a little bit of what goes through my head when deciding whether to get into a trade or not. Or Litecoin, also stealing the show today. Huge day, huge follow through. So again, this is why I'm issuing, you know, just caution. We are going to top out pretty soon. We're going to consolidate. Could we see new all-time highs in 2-3 weeks? Absolutely. But we will see some daily consolidation approaching. We have in the past 5 days gone from $95 to today hitting $275. That is a 200% gain in 5 days. These gains do not hold up. We consolidate from them, which is why we need to be protecting this profit. And if you're in it for the long haul, again, you're holding out. But if you are not, you're definitely looking to lighten up a little bit up at these levels, because the odds that we're going to see Litecoin back in the, you know, upper 190s and the odds that we're going to see Ethereum back in the $400 range are more likely than not. So checking in on Litecoin, the upper wick is forming, but again, a long way to go. 4-hour time frame, still all bulls. Look at this ramp up where we've just seen nothing but bullish action. The hourly time frame has given some nice clear signals. Look at this beautiful inside bar setup, and actually wasn't an inside bar by 15 minutes, but beautiful consolidation and then continuation. And look at the hourly higher lows just holding the entire day. We have not lost an hourly higher low pattern, and the most two recent supports I'm looking at are 210.15 and then a higher low up here at 232.04. So those are the two support levels. We have our resistance at the all-time high, 275. And again, it's the same thing that I just said in terms of these gains don't last long on these spikes where we went from $228 to $275. That's a 20% move in 50 minutes. And now just like that, we pulled back 10% from the high. So there is crazy volatility, and we pull back more than 10% from the high. But there's crazy volatility in these swings and these spikes, and it's due to the lack of bears, really. And it's because we don't have that bearish pressure that we get extended and euphoric, and it's all bulls buying, and there's nothing to really counteract that and keep a balance. So that's how we get so overbought so quickly. My concern with the psychology of what's going on in the cryptocurrency space, and everybody's talking the bubble, you've heard it 100 times. I'm not talking bubble, I'm just talking the fact that what's going on with the media. So everybody at this point who's going to hear about cryptocurrency has heard about it, right? The media has blown it up. CNBC is talking about Bitcoin futures all day today. They had Charlie Lee on, poor Charlie Lee, if you watched that interview, but he's a good guy. But between those two, they were talking about it the entire day. So everybody is now aware of cryptocurrencies, and you have to start figuring that the rush of people that are coming in to put their money in are really at the end of the line. This is the laggards. This is the late adopters in the 2017 cryptocurrency rush. And so once these late adopters are done getting sucked in with this FOMO and hype, which certainly is very, people who don't know what they're doing and they see these gains, get my money in there. And that's when it gets dangerous, when people have no idea what they're doing and just throwing money in. But my point is, if everybody in the population, not everybody obviously, but many people, the most people that are going to now know about it, and they've made the decision they either want in or they don't. Now we get to a point where it's a game of musical chairs, and we're going to have people, we're going to reach a saturation point where there's no more people to be buying in the magnitude that has kept up these hundreds of percent gains in 5 days. So once that does happen, we then see the scales begin to shift. The buying pressure, it's all supply and demand. The buying pressure lightens up. As we see the rush to join Coinbase slow down. It reaches a point where people have, a month of hearing about it every day in the news where, okay, it's now the norm. This rush is over. Who's going to be left to buy at the end of this surge? So obviously, there's going to be people buying dips and things like that and being patient, those who know what they're doing. But in terms of who's going to run Litecoin up to $500, in the next 3 months, it's just not going to happen, in my opinion, and we have to be cautious to protect against it. So I'm going to be consistently watching the longer term time frames just in terms of the daily chart and the 4-hour chart. As long as the higher lows keep holding, the bulls are just fine. They're in full control. But if we start to lose the 4-hour higher low pattern, and you can see, just look at this Litecoin 4-hour chart, you have to pull back and form a higher low on the 4-hour chart and establish a support level. I would not be surprised to see Litecoin down at 220 or even 200 sometime in the next 2 days. So again, I'm cautious. I'm not going to be betting against anything, obviously, and I am going to continue to profit even if I'm wrong. And if we keep going, that's the best part about technical analysis. You can recognize when you're wrong and capitalize on it. But at this point, extreme caution. Congrats again to the bulls. Go out and take a walk. I had stepped away and I missed this last leg up, but it's the most expensive trip to the gym and out to eat that I've ever had. But at this point, we just have to realize that this is bleeping insane. So I'm glad to be experiencing it with all of you, and I will see you tomorrow.